Driver Down the Road, written by Marvelous Marvin Mahaney. We've got the crowdfunding jitters and the network launch scabies. I know it's tough like that. These are high quality problems. And then I've got some feedback, somebody, so that's fun.
I don't hear it.
That's okay. I know where it's coming from. Stand by, audience. Sorry about that. Those little technical difficulties make us feel like we're truly on live. And you know what? We are. I called somebody up the other day and they said, "Are you live?" And as always, so thank you for that music. And as always, Marvelous Marvin presents a slate of music and slate of shows coming up the month. The best slate of blues in the South. He's bringing blues to the South Sides. And thanks to Atlanta Blues Society and Lafayette Bontemps, a lot of you like those pictures for the documentary we're working on. I was going for the State of Blues. I think now the name of it has to be Georgia Blues, because what else is it? For more information, hit Marvin up on IG or Facebook. Marvelous Marvin Mahaney presents Just Remember Triple M. And hello and welcome to the Weekly Lead, live and uncut. I'm Sean Reed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. On the Indie Business Radio. I call him Jason. This is the Jason YouTube channel. What's up, Jason? That was not very smooth.
Hey, man.
Lose him completely.
No, I'm with you. I don't. I wasn't
Hey,
sure.
how's it going?
Yeah, it sounds like we're having some connectivity issues today.
Yeah, it feels like we're a little slow today, but that's okay.
I'll just match you. I'll be like, what? You know.
Yeah, as long as Robert can get in down with that, we have a special guest. So before we get into our crowdfunding special, Jason, I'm in the midst, or we're in some level in the midst, one of our films is in the midst of a little tussle over basically essentially being on a platform where it didn't get my direct permission. So it is on a major platform that we don't have access to, and it's out there. It's earning something. Have you ever experienced that before?
Not really. Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. No.
So I'd also had Redemption, previous film, get picked up by and like kind of stolen by a German company at one point too. So on video. But this one is like we've had to go through the process. We've written a letter and sent it to that specific network. And of course, in that process, we'll find out who that is, who thinks they own rights. We know who could be, but it really doesn't exist anymore. So I'm very curious to see how they thought they did, or what package someone included it in, because that's usually what it is that someone mistakenly thought that they owned it, or there's some deal that we're not aware of. So the other big news, besides the fact that we're going to be talking about Craving for the next 45 minutes to an hour, is that World One TV is kind of making its soft launch. It is available on the website. It's on Roku right now. And we will be doing some live stream parties, watch-alongs with Brian White, and a lot of other cool stuff. So, and I think that I'm kind of edging us towards next week. We'll just be doing a all about streaming special. So we're doing all about crowdfunding this week. And we'll do an all about streaming and maybe really get deep into the streaming universe, the different types of streaming, what they mean as a filmmaker, what they mean to the streaming people that operate it, and what it means to operate a streaming network from that side, from the best I can do with this starting out. So with all that said, for those of you watching live, and if you're not live, that's a joke from last week, feel free to ask a question on and off topic. Today, we are talking about independent crowdfunding because we have Mr. Jay Horton and crew putting together Craving, which launched today. We almost need to have wait a minute, where's the applause? Launched today, the Craving campaign. So it's all about Craving. Mr. Jay Horton and his team. What's up, Jay? Let's talk some more about Craving.
Hey, yeah, you see that
Wake up.
The whole time he was talking, I was like fixing a perk on the campaign. Campaigns are so fucking hard to run, which we'll get into, but like you really have to stay on top of everything. And has this, donations and stuff are coming in real time. You have to make adjustments. Like I just noticed one of my perks was marked on the card at whatever, $500, but the actual price was $1,000. So I had to real quick fix that.
You had to fix that.
Anyway.
And it's all live,
Yeah.
it's all the live thing. It's like, it's very interesting because you've got the live campaign and I've got the live campaign for the live streaming network.
Right.
With our 13 or 30 something films of ours on that live streaming network. So it's a lot going on this month.
Yeah.
Not even yet.
Yeah, I was thinking I should have shared the screen and added like Mission Impossible music, and just like do that for like 2 hours, like dun 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 dun. Just change it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes,
I digress.
Yes, you digress. So you're, besides being dizzy with all of this, so we wanted to really get into the nuts and bolts of why you chose to do a crowdfunding campaign, how you're executing that crowdfunding campaign, and why you've made certain decisions. We will later at the bottom of the hour, we will be taking a look at your 3-minute video. We will be talking to Robert Bravo, who has been working with you for years, probably your oldest collaborator.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, you think so. I might be the longest continuous collaborator, though.
Yeah, you can say that. Well, and actually, to be fair, Brandon Mahan that directed The Town That Loved Bigfoot that I produced, he was a producer and one of the main actors on my very first movie back in 2003.
Okay, but continuous. I'm saying continuous record.
Yes.
I think I win the continuous record.
Yeah. I think so.
That's for you. That's for both of us. For me as well. Like,
okay.
That I'm continuously working, except for like Fritz. Fritz is my continuous work person, from me being an AD with him into a DP. And so a lot of this we're talking about, and I digressed into this because we're really talking about relationships and crowdfunding. And doing this is a lot about that. So let's talk first about Craving. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what that film is and why you decided to choose that one to crowdfund initially?
Sure. So Crowdfunding is a horror movie. It's kind of a hybrid crime thriller creature feature. I think I wrote the first draft of it back in like 2008, maybe 2007, a long time ago. And I've always really, really liked the script. But it's one that, at least in those days, like I just didn't see it being able to be done for less than, say, like $500,000. I didn't know how to make that movie at a lower level. At one point, even I was trying to get it going like that, and we were getting people attached. And I guess it's long enough. I can spill it now. We had Robin Givens attached as the lead actress. He was not attached, but his agent manager had agreed if we met his rate that he would do the movie. Casper Van Dien, and who else? Michael Madsen, and we were talking to Ving Rhames people, but he hadn't agreed. But anyway, we were trying to package it, and I just could never get it going. Like I got close a few times, but it just couldn't get the full budget together. And then, as the years went by, and I made a lot of other movies, and did the documentaries for the last few years, I was like, I wanted to get back and make narratives again. And that script just popped into my mind. So, I took it out the drawer, reread it. I was like, you know what? I think I could. There is a version of this that I can do like cheaper. So how do I want to, approach that? And it's still not as cheap as some of the movies that I've made.
We don't say cheap, we say inexpensive, or our cost point effective. Or anything, but don't
but cheap. Yes. Okay.
Say cheap.
It wasn't. I've made some more cost efficient movies. But anyway, so I was looking at it and I was like, there is a good version of this movie that can be done, at a lower budget, but it's a little bit outside of the realm of what I can like personally put in myself. So I would either have to seek traditional funding or crowdfunding. And the reason I chose crowdfunding for at least a portion of this is I don't really want because even with the crowdfunding, like let's say our target budget is say $65,000, at that budget with traditional financing and the amount that I would have to give away to the investors, like I feel like it just wouldn't be enough back, and not to sound greedy, but there wouldn't be enough back end left for me because I'm not getting paid upfront for this at all. So if any money comes in for this, for me, it's back end. And I've found over the course of my career, I would much rather have good back end than, a little bit of pay up front. So with that all in mind, I decided to do the crowdfunder. And also, the idea of doing crowdfunders is, went through my mind over the past, 10 years or so. I've been a part of a couple, but I've never like just fully went into one on my own. I just didn't feel like I had the social reach or social proof to do it. But, after doing like this channel for 2 years, and, building up, a following here and, on, Facebook and, elsewhere, I kind of feel like, I have enough of a good reputation that, I'm not taking advantage of people. I'm not trying to, take the money and run. If I say I'm going to make the movie, I'm going to make the movie, like I've done with every single other movie I've made. So like, I feel like now for the first time, things are aligned to where maybe I could run a successful crowdfunder on a, a larger scale.
Absolutely. And by the way, thank you guys for the comments and the support. You can see some stuff getting in there. You've got Livid Media saying, I'm feeling the same way. Christopher Moonlight Productions sharing the campaign because Bravo was part of Ray Bradbury play that we did with actor Bill Orbis Jr. We love him. Another Facebook user just saying, awesome. Hello. Lyle Wheeler, good luck on it. Been looking forward to this video. And Joe, echoing my claps, gave us some claps. And I think Christopher was talking about something he was editing up there up top. So we'll just leave that alone. I think I got back through to. But that reminds me to say before we get into that, by the way, all you guys watching live, please feel free to ask questions on or off topic. We love it. And of course, if you want to tip us for some good information on that, what do you call that thing?
It's called a super chat. Like
Yes.
you hit the little super chat button, and it's basically like giving your YouTube creators a small tip, like you just said.
Yes. So if you want to go super chat, feel free to go super chat because this stuff is worth Monet. You know what I'm saying? So now you've got this movie that you've pulled out and you've started working on it again. You've dusted it off. You've gone into you've gone behind the screen and you went and you've written up this new script and now you've decided to crowdfund it. So what's really the first thing that you end up having to do, or what I would imagine you got to figure out how much you're going to raise and which specific site you're going to put it on.
Yeah. So the first thing I did is I looked at the script, and like I said, there's a couple of different levels this movie could be made at. So I basically figured out how much money I could personally put in, how much I could raise outside of crowdfunding without traditional investors, say, friends, family, myself, whatever, maybe another producer. And then I take that number and I look at the script, and I have basically I picked 3 different levels that I think I could make the movie for. And like the lowest level, I would need to raise an additional $25,000 through crowdfunding, which is what our flexible goal is, 25,000. So like if I can hit that, I can make the first level, of the movie. I can make the whole movie, but at the most cost efficient level. But my plan is to set stretch goals as we hit those goals. So my hope is that this 25,000 goal will get hit like week 1, and then we'll raise that by 5,000, then we'll raise it by 5,000, and we'll keep going up. So like if it gets to 50,000, that's like level 2. And all that is, it's a little more scope. It's a little more action, and maybe a little bit better on the crew. Well, actually a lot better on the crew. And then the level after that is like getting closer to the 6-figure 100,000 level. And if we hit that, which is really where I would like to be at that level, we would go union at that point. We would we would go union at that point. We would sorry.
I know you're being distracted by it, and there's nothing I can do about it at this point. I thought I put the dude. It's all technical stuff today.
Yeah, it's his first day.
It is my first day. I don't know. I turned it off. I mean, because here's what's going to happen here. You know what? Go to keep talking. Put yourself into full,
and you can fix it. Okay, what was I saying? Because I totally lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the different levels of finance that you actually.
Oh, great. The 100,000. Okay. Oh,
yeah. So never mind. You know, we're okay now.
I can. Oh, you got it. I can do it.
Well, no, it's. I mean, it's just hopefully nobody else decides to call me in the middle of the show.
Okay. So the 100,000 level, which is where I really want to get to, and that's really my goal. At that point, it would definitely be an actor union shoot, SAG, and I would attach a couple of name actors to a couple of the pivotal, like, major supporting roles. So that's really where I want to get to. But I can make a good movie for the 25. I can make a good movie for the 50. It'd be nice to get to the 100, but that's kind of that's the basic strategy for it.
Okay, so you.
Sorry.
Yes.
And one other thing. So I decided to go with Indiegogo. And the reason I did that is for the flexible funding. Because like I said, I am capable of raising a little bit of money outside of it. And so, if the crowdfunder were to just totally fall on its face, I could, traditionally raise that 25 if I had to. At that point, it could potentially be a wash for me financially, but, I could do it. It would get done. And I could do that with flexible funding. So I decided to go with flexible funding.
All right. And we have from Mobile Filmmaking. He says, I'm excited, or they say, I don't know if it's a he or she, so I will not put that on them. They could be they. I'm excited for this new movie you're working on. It looks like you're going to really bring it. I also look forward to following your process. So you're really getting to see that. And I think that's kind of the other great thing about these specific formats for both of us, is that we're getting to explore how to really connect with an audience. So that is your next. Okay.
I wanted to answer this.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Live in Media asked, so your budget dictates if you go union. Yes. I mean, for me, it does. Because like going union, and by union, I'm talking about SAG. I'm not talking about crew union. It would have to be like well over the $100,000 for me to go crew union. That's probably not going to happen. But with SAG union, even at the ultra low budget and the new media levels, it does cost. There is like on ultra low budget, the SAG minimum, I think, is, what is the minimum? 135?
It's up from that now. It's more.
Right. So
I was just talking to somebody the other day. I think it's over 200.
Okay.
So at this point.
So we'll say it's 200 for the sake of argument, but
then that doesn't
count. Yeah, because then you have to pay
benefits,
benefits, insurance, pension and health, and
pay a payroll company if you're a new company.
Yep.
Which then and then you're putting up an additional deposit. There's a lot that goes on with that. There's got to say, okay, so we have Facebook user. Do you want to put that one up and read it?
Sure. No problem. I got to say, I love the teaching Horton style. It is very interesting and very helpful. I actually used the breakdown of the budget to see what to change for something. Going to be a great movie. Yeah, I did this like live stream in the Facebook group where I actually kind of broke down like the initial budget. Like I did it on like an Excel sheet, and I did that on there. I want to do something like that on here, like on YouTube, but I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could go once I actually prepare a deeper one. We could do that. I think that would be good for the crowdfund. We could do it for the crowdfund. I think it would be interesting. It's to go take a deeper look at those 3 different levels and what they would actually be. I'd be willing to break them down and then do it from a production management side with a creative side, going back and forth in those conversations so that they understand what the sacrifices are. Because essentially you're just always looking at, it's like what you get and what you don't get. Go ahead. You want to read that?
Yeah, so Christopher over at Moonlight Productions, he said, "Don't tell people you could fund it if Indiegogo doesn't work out. A good campaign has a sense of urgency." We had a film called Harbinger down about 10 years ago, and an inverter came in after it was funded. You know what, dude? That actually is a really good point, and that is.
There's no way he's ever going to get this money. We need it. He needs it.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say that.
But I will say this about that, especially in regards to this channel. I mean, you won't catch me saying that on social media or anything like that. But on this channel, I have built my reputation on radical transparency as much as can be, and it's just something I don't feel a bad sharing. But that said, I do agree it is something in general people don't do. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to hurt my campaign, but I think it could hurt others.
But by ultimately, it's just urgency is it's a sales thing, and that's actually a perfect kind of movement into that idea. Is that that all of this is ultimately sales, and that we're looking at it. Do you have another comment? That we've got a few more comments in here, so let's go. Let's get this next one.
This is Jason over at Mill Picture Studios. Said he did a crowdfunding once and was not good at it, which is the reason I shoot the way I do. You definitely got this. Good luck, mate. Thanks, man. Yeah, I know, like crowdfunding, and it's it remains to be seen whether I'm cut out for it either. We'll talk again in a week. But yeah, it's a tough thing, and it is not for everybody. Like as I start, talking about strategies and whatnot, you could still follow. It's the same thing with marketing in general. You can follow every single piece of advice from a really good source, but it's still about like the execution and the understanding of those things, not just parroting what somebody says to do. Like somebody says to do this thing with your crowdfunder, but you not only have to just do that thing, you have to understand it. And honestly, like all of the information that I'm getting, about crowdfunding and from, I worked with a crowdfunding consultant, and it's all information that I've heard at some time in my life, information that I had in my head, but I just I hadn't wrapped my head around how to really properly execute the stuff. And I feel like I'm there now. So I guess we will see.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I'll read Arbor Ave if you want to put that one up. That's Phil Garrett.
Sure.
The community you're building is fantastic, and it's great seeing fans and fellow independent filmmakers supporting the project and each other. You just broke 3K. Look at that.
Oh shit! I didn't even know. I should have.
That was 4 or 5 minutes ago that you broke 3K. So congratulations on that. Thank you for monitoring, Phil.
Yeah, that's 3K and a half an hour of official launch. We had a soft launch at 11 where we had a few like behind the scenes people donating. But that's great. So
you're off to a good start. Why don't you do the next one? Because we have
have you considered a distribution plan this early in advance?
Let me answer.
Yeah,
because every movie that we're going to do on one level or another has been considered, and there is a reason, especially if you've taken a look at some of the shows that we've done individually and together. One of the formats that does intensely well, even years later, and is one of the reasons that that Zapruder Flicks exists in the form that it does, is some of the old titles that Jason managed to get back or had made started earning. They just earn revenue. The reports that we see, it's just another consistent one. So there's ultimately where we will end up. I think we'll ultimately end up on the budget level. I'll let Jason kind of expand more on that, but that tends to be we tend to share that sensibility of making those plans and actually using both heads in terms of really discussing that to get it, so that we've both managed to get distribution for a lot of projects. So go ahead, Jason. What do you have?
Yeah. So, and I know I just talked all about radical transparency, but at this point, we're back channel talking with a couple of distributors, and I don't want to get into it at this point, but just know that it will have distribution, whether it's through a traditional distributor or we do it how we've done it before with fractured rights. But yeah, it'll get out in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I expect that, in a process where we're actually have, and we'll be able to show things and have things and, have so many relationships currently. I can't imagine that we won't, especially with getting back in the narrative, you'll see it. Everything that we do gets out there, and I think this will be one of the bigger ones that'll be out there. So I've got that next one. What did Joe? Okay, so
That
Joe
was
asked.
that was a repeat.
Okay, so
We're all good. We're caught up.
okay, and okay, so we're all caught up, and we had a couple
Oh,
loops in the line that you're gonna want to move out of here
yeah,
eventually. I
yeah.
think.
Let me block that dude. All right.
Let's take the Sklala Skludovic. It's by Skladic. I'm sorry.
The bots are attacking.
Yeah, the bots are honest. There's people reading it. So we were in the point where now we're obviously, yeah, it's not obvious, but yes, anything that we talk about, there's always behind the scenes distribution. This early in a process, there's no way to actually have any firm things at these types of budget levels.
Yeah.
But merely just that part of the process. But it's something that from day one is it part of that process at this point when we pull out something.
Yeah, and just stay tuned, because like as things do solidify, we'll be talking about it in great detail.
Absolutely. So you've selected. So now we're at the point where what platform do you put it on? So you're actually on Indiegogo, I believe, yes?
Yeah. And I talked about it because I chose it for the flexible funding, and we'll use stretch goals to get higher, and I've just had. I haven't done a ton of crowdfunders, but the few that I have been a part of were done through Indiegogo. So, I had the account, I've used it, I'm familiar with it. And from my research, as far as the type of movie that this is, Indiegogo was the best place to do that. It's a horror movie and horror fans. If it was a little bit more of a like social issue movie or a drama or a documentary, I might have went to Seed and Spark. If I was really going for the
Bigger money,
bigger $200,000 goal, and say maybe I had a name actor attached already, I might have done Kickstarter. But for this, under $100,000 raising and a horror movie, for me, Indiegogo was the best match.
Well, ultimately, and that's a good thing to talk about in general. Just like when we're talking about distributors, just like when we're talking about aggregators or marketplaces or festivals or lawyers or anything, there's ultimately usually a lot of choices, and there's probably a good fit for you. And it really requires you doing that research, and it's like the due diligence right now is kind of perfect because there are 3 platforms. So you got to check out 3 platforms and see which one's the right one for you. 3 major platforms. I'm sure there's a lot of other smaller things out there, but those are kind of the main ones. And sticking with the mainstream seems to be the best thing that you can possibly do. And see, while I'm filling, you can see that Jason is like literally going, how much money do I have? So what is then the next thing that you actually end up doing? So you've picked your platform, you've picked your budget. Now what do you do?
So the first thing I do, because that's, you got to build the audience. So I went to, Facebook is where I do a lot of my promotion, and I'm just comfortable with it. I'm good there. So the first thing I did was create a group. And I chose a group as opposed to a page to start with. Just at least in my experience, the interaction just seems to be greater. It seems like they show your post to more people. And so I did that. And I think I made it off of my Jay Horton page, I think. I don't remember now. Anyway. And I started inviting people to it, but I was really selective about how I was inviting people. So like I wasn't just inviting just random people off my friends list, just like click. The first thing I did was I started finding friends with groups in common that were relevant to the movie. So I started with horror groups, because you can hit that little blue invite button on Facebook, and then you can pick from your friends list in categories. So I would pick the groups in common, and then I would go to horror, and I would just go through those horror groups, and I would start clicking people on my friends list that were in horror groups. And then also, because we're doing so many filmmaking level perks, I decided to target some of the filmmaking groups. Like, for example, I have one that I run based on this YouTube channel with about 3,500 people in it. So I would invite some people from that. And, like right now, that group is sitting at like maybe 600 people in it, but it is super engaged. Like every post I make gets, lots of comments, lots of, reactions, shares. And if you compare that with, I have another movie called Monsters in the Woods. I've had a page for that for years. It has maybe 7,000 followers, and when I put a post up there, crickets, or the the Death Day page for a long time. It had like over 20,000 people, and it was like crickets, but the group was killing it. So I'm engaging there. And I had kind of like backed away from Twitter the last couple of years. So I started, getting back active on Twitter again. And again, like following, targeted people. So I used this thing called Tweepy. Um, and it basically, you type in some parameters, like, and it'll search through Twitter for people that are using like these hashtags or talking about these things. And I would target users in like horror movies, monster movies, creature features, like stuff like that. And I would follow them and engage with them. And, I did that for probably about 3 months, like total, like building. And then, on Facebook, like friending new people, like in the horror groups, and like talking to people, not even talking about my movie, just in there, like, bullshitting and talking, just, making myself available and engaged and out there, so that when I do make posts, more people are going to see them.
Well, and that's, so you're building ultimately you're building your audience. And here we're talking about a lot of things that, regardless of whether you're running a crowdfunding campaign, you should be doing for your movies. So let's see. I think that we saw a comment. There was a comment from Live in Media. So, and he was saying with the nano budget films he does, you guys are super big time with these budgets you guys are talking about. Yes, but ultimately all of the techniques, and they're not really, but all the they're not super big, but the techniques that we're talking about should be applied to any film that you're doing, that you're marketing in any way. That you should be looking to build an audience, that you should be looking to connect with people that are, in the same type of vein. Like Dance Baby Dance, we often talk about how well that Steven did with connecting with the tap dance audience. So doing that. So there's a question that was from Smash. What was the name of the Twitter app you mentioned?
Tweepy. It is TWEEPI, Tweepy. And you can get a free version where you can do the stuff I just said, and then you get like a paid version for like, I think it's $20, and then you have more things. But I just do the free version, honestly.
So one of the other major things that you end up doing is making a video, right, Jason?
Yes. Sorry. Sorry, crowdfunding.
No, so this is going to give you the perfect time. So we're going to take a look at the Craving direct. So what do we call this video? This is your testimonial.
Yeah, it's a pitch video for it, and yeah, I'll talk about it when we come back.
All right, so here we go. Here's the pitch video for Craving, the live crowdfunding campaign that is currently at 3K. What are we at?
Yeah, we're over 3K.
At over 3K, we will give you an update. I want to see us over 5K when we come back in 3 minutes. So here we go.
Yeah, hit it, guys. Oh wait, somebody else
hit the video.
Oh, I have to play the video.
Did I ever tell you about my first call? It was at 1071 outside this old country bar. Never seen anything like it. The floor was covered in bodies, torn apart. Arms, legs, heads.
So what is Craving? Craving is an insane crime thriller creature feature that examines addiction through the lens of a kick-ass horror flick. The story follows a group of heroin addicts. A drug deal goes bad, and they find themselves held up in a rural roadhouse bar, where they're besieged by local police. As they start to go through withdrawal, things get very messy when a secret one of them is carrying comes out. I'm Jay Horton, and I've directed over 22 feature films, and I've produced like 40 others. I've worked in many genres, but I keep coming back to horror. Horror is home to me.
I'm a practical special effects artist. I started in the industry as a indie producer, and I transitioned into special effects about a decade ago, and I'm super excited to bring this guy to life.
And we need your help to get it done. I believe so strongly in this project that I've commissioned a very talented special effects artist to create this beast right now.
Seriously, this creature is going to be super iconic. He's going to feel very Pumpkinhead-esque. It's all practical, and we have a really epic transformation sequence.
But in order to see the movie all the way through completion at the level it and the fans deserve, we need another $25,000 to complete production. The funds will be used for location rental, cast and crew payments, food, sexy stuff like insurance, and lots of blood.
And this is where you can be part of the process. We're already started, we're already in pre-production and building a lot of this stuff on our own. It just takes more than what two people can do.
We are a community, and together we can make a really special movie, the kind that we all love and want to see more of.
We have some really terrific perks, including a fully loaded, and I mean fully loaded, Blu-ray of the final movie.
You can get the chance to appear or be killed in the film, and can even become a producer on it.
Tutorials on doing your own practical special effects.
We're going to create an unprecedented behind-the-scenes look into the filmmaking process.
And there's much, much more.
That's it. That's our pitch. So support Craving today and be a part of horror film history.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we at $5,000?
Yeah, sure. No, I don't think so. Hold on. I'll let you know. Hold on. I should have it opening. No, we're not. A little over 3,000 now. 3,100. Still good, you know.
Okay,
But yeah,
there you go.
come on, guys. We'd like to get 5. Let's go.
Dude,
Man.
let's get 5 during this show, man. That's not a huge goal here.
Somebody hit us with one of those $2,000 perks.
Yeah, come on. So what is the so what are some of the, so going back a little bit, but also we're going to kind of the elements within the video. So that's kind of like presenting the package, presenting what team you have at the moment. So you've had to have already done that work before you can figure those things out before you actually make the video. You had to have everything kind of figured out. I assume that's almost the end, not the end of the process, but towards the end of the pre-launch process.
Yeah. So like at that point, it didn't really, and still don't really have any crew attached or, and very little cast. So it was basically, this has always been kind of a baby of me and Robert Bravo's. So, him being a special effects artist, I knew that, we could put in a little bit of money together and we could build, this monster and use it as, a tool to help, drive the crowdfunder. So, that was kind of a major decision. And then we just went about doing the pitch video. And like the first one we did, like I shot my interview on this like little Sony camera that I use for my YouTube channel. And I think he shot it on a cell phone, like vertical video. And, just cut the thing together and it was pretty good. But then I was like, you know what, like we need to up this. So, I got one of my filmmaking partners in LA, Jeremy Nori. He had just bought a new Blackmagic 6K and, does all the documentary interviews with it. So I had him go and, shoot Bravos again. And then, we had a friend down here in Georgia that allowed me to use his Blackmagic 6K and we shot mine here. And then, put them together. And honestly, not to be, egocentric or nothing, but I think the pitch video turned out damn fine. I think it's one of the better examples of one on the platform.
It's better. It's also a result of the fact that you've been making YouTube videos for the last
Totally. I mean,
on.
my on camera like delivery for doing stuff like that now because of doing the YouTube videos for so long. I do think I'm really good at presenting on camera in that way. And 2 years ago, it would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, I think it would have been very different. So we got just some I'm sold, some good response. Great campaign video with your perk of major supporting role. Do you have any fears that if a backer can't act, it may hurt the quality of the film?
That's a good question. And if you'll look at the perk description, I put in there that we reserve the right to refund and refuse inappropriate submissions. I do the same thing with product placement. So no. Like it won't just be, and honestly, the couple of people that I'm actually talking to about that perk, I'm kind of talking to behind the scenes. If somebody gets to it first, there's 3 of them available, and I'm only going to give 1 away. And within those 3 roles, I'm positive that I can find a fit for somebody within those 3 and make it work.
Well, there you go. So that's perfect. So now you're putting together the track for okay, to back here's another question. Actually, did we do this?
Oh.
Yeah, put it up.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah. To backtrack a little, you stated that if you reached 100K, you would look at getting a few name actors. Did you have significant ones in mind writing the script? I did when writing the script, but that was like 10 years ago. So I really wanted Ving Rhames for the not for the heavy, but like the so there's a dad and a hunter that are like, like the good and evil, and Ving Rhames would have been the good one. So like I really wanted him, and honestly back then I really thought Robin Givens was great for that role. But I found a couple actors since that I think are a little more appropriate, not necessarily names, but better fits. And then I'll probably, I don't want to throw out names at this point because I'm just not sure where to land. But I do have some in mind that I can easily attach. So, we'll see when we get there.
Okay. Well, so then we have Kyle Bizarre Pictures, great campaign video with your perk. Okay, we did that one already.
Yep.
Okay, so that's I think that's a good point to. I think what's going to end up happening is that we're going to be talking more about how to do this throughout weekly reads. We will dedicate for the next 3 or 4 shows like our opening part of the show to check in. No matter what the subject of the matter of the show, we will be checking in with what's going on with the campaign and talking more about it and letting people ask questions. But since we have a guest who has been working away on the other side. I've been watching him down there in the bottom. He's been raising some of that money too. We have the physical special effects person, Mr. Robert Bravo. Jason is going to take a second and we're going to switch to the other setup, but Jason's going to be there. So we're just going to interview you, Robert. Jason's going to be down there. Hello, Robert Bravo.
Hi there. How's everyone doing today?
Excellent. I hear there's dinging going on, dinging and ringing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't figure out how to mute my alarm without muting me.
No worries. It's fine. It will make it more entertaining. We will hear people coming in, raising money. It's like a telethon. I'm your Jerry Lewis.
It really is. Those dings are emails.
It is. What is it? I think is Jason talking to us, or is he just talking to the screen?
Oh, I was just talking to the screen. Hey, Bravo, do me a favor and set back just a little bit. You're super loud.
Oh, sorry, boss. I was afraid I wasn't making any noise. Is that better?
That's much better. All right.
All right. There we go. So let's talk a little bit about this. I have read the script, and we work together, of course, on the campus now DEATHDAY. And so I'm very curious. I haven't seen a lot or peeked a lot except for what's going on thing. So tell me about what's special about this, especially for you and at this point in your career, working with Jason again and making this creature.
Well, I'll start with working with Jason again. I don't know if you know this, but Jason's the reason I work in this industry. And that's kind of shaped my life. He met me when I was a 20-year-old kid, and for some reason he thought I had potential. So he brought me on to some of those early projects, and I am who I am because of that. So it's really exciting after so many years to kind of go back home, and back to that initial film family. And that's been a gift. Going more specific into this project, as you're well aware, this film has been part of us for the better part of a decade. In fact, a decade now. And these characters have been really close to it's been a story I've always wanted to tell. As I don't know if you've seen our images, but over the last few weeks, I've been building our creature suit, or a stage of our creature suit, bringing a lot of our practical special effects to life, because we're not waiting for the crowdfunder. Stuff's already going on. And then starting to prep and test some of our effects gags, our bladder tricks and things like that. So there's a lot going on, and I am incredibly excited to bring it to everyone.
So what stage are you in currently with our creature? And I know, yes, I've been watching, and of course I just saw the incredible video, so I've gotten to see a lot of what the creature looks like. But obviously you're in the shop.
I am, and don't take that video as a representation of what's going on. That was quite early on in the process. So you have a general idea of the shape of the thing.
Mhm.
Texture is going to change quite a bit, and kind of technical prowess, if you will. But he's looking really cool. He's quite close to the original concept art, which is always exciting. And presently his head is hidden because we don't want people to see him, but he's back there. He's got a wig on right now.
Well, I've got where's Demon Baby? I don't
You
know
still
where
have Demon Baby?
of course I still have Demon Baby. I
Yeah.
keep Demon Baby. Hold on. Where is Demon Baby? Okay, that's a little weird. That's a little creepy. Demon Baby
I
is hidden.
actually have
Oh,
it.
you borrowed my that's weird. You know what? It kind of made my set down here a little bit more, urban, we don't
Nice.
say urban, we say black. But kind of like that percent. And Jason wanted more horror. But yeah, I brought it with me to Atlanta, so that's what
That
he
means a
has
lot.
up there. Yeah, I've held on to that little sucker. That's scary. I love it. So I'm very excited to see what you end up doing. Have there been decisions about proportions? Are you guys still kind of making those decisions on that? Who's wearing the suit or those types of things? Or you got proportions for that? How do you kind of address those types of things at this pre-stage?
I'm building the suit first and casting the right person for the suit once it's made, which may sound odd. But if I wanted the freedom to make this thing 100% what I saw in my head. And if I pick someone in advance, I'm limited to their frame. And I have a large enough pool of creature actors, having done this for a decade, that once I have him finished, I can go through and find the guy who I know can handle the physical stress that's going to be involved with that suit and has the right frame. Because initially I didn't know if he was going to be a big hulking monster or if he was going to be more spindly.
Mhm.
And I wanted the freedom to kind of create something more organically. And I'm really excited. We kind of found a nice middle ground. He's big enough to be intimidating, but lean enough to be able to move. Like I would not run faster than this creature. I would get eaten or pulverized.
You feel it that you're going to be, because we're talking tight space. It's going to have to make a snack out of you. You got to be like playing chicken, getting away from it. So it's got to be able to pounce on you pretty quickly, right? So
Oh yeah.
Interesting. It's got to be quick and fast and speedy,
Oh, yeah.
and vicious and
And it
hungry.
has to make sense, because the thing about doing creature design is, even though these things don't exist in our world, if they don't make sense on a biological setting, your brain knows it's wrong. Even though this is a thing that can't possibly exist, it has to function in such a way that animals do, or you just get taken out of the movie. So everything that as an artist you do, you have to be able to make it, realistic in a bizarre way. But it's a fun challenge.
Excellent. Well, definitely looking forward to more of that. And of course, you're working away on the campaign as a member of the team. So what does it mean also, to be a team member on a campaign like this? So what's kind of your day? What's going on with you right now? What have you been up to the last couple hours?
Well, so far today, my primary job has just been interacting with our contributors. I've been thanking everyone for stopping by and being part of this. So there's a direct one-on-one interaction with everyone. I'm surprised how many people are coming back, and after I send them their thank you email, I get a friend request, and I've had quite a long conversation with a few of our investors outside of that. I'm also still just in fabrication mode. So, basically whenever I disappear, it's because I have a timer that went off in my pocket that says I have to check something. And the hustle is constant. But we're getting a lot done, and it's really exciting to see how passionate and how excited our our contributors are. Because yeah, we have a lot of interaction on our little Facebook group and things like that, but you never know how real that is until the big day, until launch day. And it's really been great to see the response that our campaign has been getting so far. We're like 2 hours in, not even an hour and a half, and we're already doing quite well. So it's a wonderful day. It's very exciting.
Excellent. And we even have from Phil Garrett complimenting you and Jay. Great work on the video, community building, and campaign launch. I actually see, I know how to put that up. See, look at that. Look at that. And so thank you, Phil. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. So with that, I think that is a perfect time to bring back in director, producer, Jay Horton, channel man. There he is. Go to our, there we go. This is a good setup, I think, for the end too.
I like this.
Big box, little box, big box, little box. So guys, we're in the first day here, the first hours. It's 12:50 on the East Coast. So you're in your first half of the day, Jason.
Yes.
Your first. So where are you at with your expectations, your feelings? How you doing?
I'm doing okay so far. To be 100% honest, I was hoping for a little bit more of a go at the beginning. No, I'm just kidding. It's really good. I'm super excited. We're like, I think the last crowdfunder I did, I think it took us like 6 days to get the $3,000. So we've done it in like an hour and a half. I'm sure we'll be past 4 by the top of the hour, I'm hoping. So we'll see. It's looking good.
Excellent. And by the way, folks, if you have any questions or comments, I see a couple. John Powers said just supported, good engagement. Jason and Sean, thank you for that. We appreciate that. And that's excellent. So thank you so much, guys, for continuing to do this. And so, Robert, where were your expectations when you started this process, and now, like right now in your first day, how are you feeling?
I am very excited, and I have been trying as hard as I can to temper expectations. Because whenever you get into any of these things, you have that voice in the back of your head that's like, oh, we're going to make it. We're going to get, 100,000. I know we're asking for this amount, but we're going to do so much better. It's going to be amazing. And I just constantly try to tell myself, plan small. And the numbers that I'm seeing already are really exciting. And they're reinforcing that we are going to make it. We are going to be good. We are going to do well. So I'm stoked. Every donation I see pop up, really, it reminds me that I'm part of something, and that's a great feeling. So that's where I am right now.
Excellent. Christopher over at Moonlight Production says, and this is a good saying for thinking about sales, my favorite saying in marketing is people don't buy what you do, they buy what you do, they buy what you do it. What passions do you feel you share with the audience for this movie? Let's get to that.
Let's go. Let's hey, Bravo, you do that one first.
Yes.
That's good for him.
So I think this is a really generic answer, but I think it's an honest one. So I'll start with, I make this movie because it's the movie I want to see. I am the fan. I am the audience for this. So I think initially it's the fact that I'm part of this community that makes it more exciting. But also this is my art form. This is the world that I love. And so, for me, this is just a very honest art form. And that's why I do it. This is where my passion is. It's very surface level. This makes me happy. And I love the team that I'm working with.
Excellent. Jason?
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much parrot all that. And I mean, it's hard for me to just say that, hey, I'm just a horror guy, because I freaking love horror movies, but I love movies, and as a filmmaker, probably my favorite thing to make production wise is horror movies. Like, I like playing around in the blood, I like extreme situations. One of the coolest things things I think about genre pictures, you know, and in particular horror, is you can get a chance to see people like emotionally reacting to situations that are so heightened, you know, that could never be, you know. And it's just like it gets to an emotional truth about people that you maybe don't see in a drama or, you know, or a comedy, you know, because it's you know, it's otherworldly, you know, and I really like that aspect of it.
Well, I think it's you know, I see it in your work that there's something that's more you're more at play, I think, in that specific genre.
Yeah.
It gives you just a little bit more as a filmmaker to inspire you in those different types of things. And by the way, for those of you watching live, and if you're not live, you know, that's okay too. Go ahead and like, comment. If you're a bot, you know, go ahead too. We're okay with that. We like to talk to the bots. You know, next Friday, we are going to, and thank you so much for Robert joining us. And we may have to bring him in again to talk to more, update us, and maybe do a little reveal for the audience or something like that, Jason. If
Oh
we
yeah,
can
that'd
get
be great.
permission,
Yeah, maybe we
do a
can-
little check in and getting him up early. He seems to be doing okay. He's not fallen over completely yet. So thank you so much for that. And then so next Friday, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking all about streaming. This is going to get into behind the scenes of the streaming network from what I know about working on with World One as we get into our launch, and what some of those things are, what the definitions are, why we chose it, and some of the same ways that we're looking deeper into crowdfunding, and we'll get deep into that. Jason, what do you have coming up this week on your YouTube channel? And you need to know this week
yeah,
what
no,
it
I do.
is.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm dropping a video on Tuesday that is about crowdfunding in general. It won't be specifically about this campaign. It's
Mhm.
just about why I go a little bit deeper into why I chose to crowdfund, and you know how I'm generally going about it. And on Sunday, I have an interview with Kristen Bedno. She's a vice president over at Vision Films. So
Mhm.
it's a pretty good distribution episode. And throughout the month, so, you know, I'll be doing this crowdfunding thing, but I'm not going to inundate my YouTube channel with it too crazily. So it'll be pretty much content as usual, you know, like, you know, we'll do the little check-ins, like you said, on, you know, Fridays, and I might throw a crowdfunding video here or there, you know, a community post, but for the most part, the videos will just go on as usual.
Absolutely. You're still going to get all of that balance that you get with the Jay Horton YouTube channel. And he still will be doing the live shows with me on our Friday. So we have that. So we'll be able to check in and see exactly what's going on, and maybe even bring some other guests or some other team members on that. So, you know, let's keep the conversation going. Let me know what some of the topics you would like us to cover here. We love that. I will start doing in my new group, the World One TV group. I will start actually doing a half an hour after this. I'm going to start doing that live, where hopefully maybe I'll even get Jason to just stay on, and we'll just have a kind of a special longer show that'll be some kind of after conversations with people about different types of things geared towards the World One community and One World and building that. So hit me up on IG, Sean Alden Reed at the New Cinema Tribe, or directly through my company website, New Cinema Tribe. And of course, check out World One TV. There's a new Facebook group that's been building. There's a group. Be here next Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific for the weekly read. And of course, thanks to Jay Horton for the use of his channel. And of course, thank you for watching. I am out.